After much anticipation and waiting, the PlayStation 5 Pro has finally been revealed. And really to no surprise, the fan reaction has been everything but positive. And rightfully so, because the pricing for this console I think is absolutely outrageous. Right now, the price point for the PS5 Pro is $700 just for the digital version. And it goes for $800 if you want the disc drive. But the cherry on top is the fact that the vertical stand doesn't even come with the bundle like it did for the original. So I think it doesn't come to any surprise when the whole entire internet is dogpiling on this reveal. But besides that, in more recent news, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was also tested on the PlayStation 5 Pro. This comes from an employee at Digital Foundry, and apparently the results are like night and day compared to the original PS5. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do not forget to do so, as there's going to be a lot more news like this and JRPG news all around, and you do not want to miss it. So as everyone knows at this point, the PlayStation 5 Pro is getting absolutely destroyed online right now. And that mostly has to do with the fact that the pricing for this console is just outrageous. I mean, even for the hardware upgrade itself. If you already have a PlayStation 5, and depending on the game itself, it really isn't that much more of a jump. Granted, we haven't seen the full extent of just how well the PS5 Pro can perform. But so far, from the very underwhelming presentation, it doesn't seem to be that much more of a jump. I've always looked at consoles to be a more affordable option for the average Joe than a PC. A great option for families and for people who just want an exceptional gaming experience without having to spend almost $1,000 on a high-end PC. And that's just how I've always seen it. However, now I feel like because we've seen this big increase in pricing for game consoles, it'll only get worse from here. And right now, Sony really doesn't have any other competition that is putting them in check. They're getting a lot more comfortable with raising prices, and in fact, they've even raised the pricing on the original PlayStation 5 in several regions around the world. With Sony leading the market right now, I don't really see them changing course anytime soon. Now, me personally, I wouldn't go out of my way to make this upgrade, not only considering the price, but because I already have an original PlayStation 5 and that's doing its job just fine. I think at that point, if you have that kind of money to spend on a PlayStation 5 Pro, why not just save up a little more and invest in a high-end PC that can guarantee you that much more performance in general? That's just how I see it, but I understand everybody has their own circumstances and reasons for wanting a console over a PC, and that's completely understandable. However, if I was choosing, I just see the PC as a way better option here at this kind of price point. Now, with the PS5 Pro will come a handful of enhanced games at launch, and one of those is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. According to John Linman at Digital Foundry, the game looked exceptionally better than it did on the original PS5. Remember that originally the game did not look great, at all when it came to performance mode. The game was blurry and it almost felt like you were looking through a fish tank compared to if you switched to graphics mode, which made image quality a lot better. And so I know a lot of people just opted to play in graphics mode at 30 FPS because of those technical issues. But again, according to this, it is a night and day contrast to anything the original PlayStation 5 was able to dish out. And so, anybody who wants that extra power, this is certainly still an option to consider. But while Rebirth may be shown to have better image quality and performance all around, I still feel like this upgrade does not justify this type of price point. And it's also worth mentioning that this still may not even guarantee that your games will run at a smooth 60 FPS. I will say that even though the PlayStation 5 Pro is getting a lot of backlash and hate, at the end of the day, people will still go out and buy it in droves, and I feel like it'll still sell out. The same thing happened with the PlayStation Portable, and it will happen again when the Pro eventually releases. It's clearly targeted to people who want that extra power, who weren't really satisfied with the OG PS5, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Even though I myself will stick to my PlayStation 5, I won't knock anybody who is considering that upgrade. Because, well, let's be honest, the PlayStation 5's performance has not been the greatest when it comes to a lot of its games. But tell me how you guys feel down below. Are you planning on buying the PlayStation 5 Pro, or is it something you'll be skipping out on? Be sure to let me know down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one.